You know what? I believe in taking suggestions, so we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
This Tesla shareholders meeting was packed with information. We learned that Elon Musk has no plans to step down as Tesla CEO. And as you heard, he told shareholders that the company will try some advertising after Meet Kevin asked him if he would consider it. Now, I was able to interview some very familiar faces throughout the event. In fact, I didn't go on the tour. I've been on the tour in the past, but my reasoning is I wanted to get as many interviews as possible for this video. So let's get into it. Ahead of the Cyber Roundup, Joe Tegmeyer and I held our own little meet and greet on the side of the road. Here is a drone shot from that, and I wanted to get Joe's thoughts going into the event. Joe, we meet again.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. This is so exciting. Obviously a little different than the Starship launch, but we're happy to be at any Tesla event, and I want to know from you what you're most looking forward to, because this is your baby.
Yeah.
Starship is my thing. This is your thing.
Yeah, well, one thing you'll notice is I'm a little lower altitude than I normally am here at the main entrance. But it's just great to be able to see what it looks like from the ground, and also see the Cybertruck and all of this trapezoidal kind of concrete structure that I've been watching being constructed for quite some time. And it's just the energy of the people here is just amazing. A lot of shareholders, a lot of people just excited about the community, and also seeing Giga Texas. And for me, it's just amazing to be able to see all the stuff up close that I've been watching from a distance for some time.
Right, and obviously tell us about your channel and kind of some of the recent things that you've been noticing.
Okay, well, my channel, if you don't know, is it's Joe Tegmeyer. And it's been covering Giga Texas construction for almost 3 years now. And when I started, this place that we're standing was just basically a sand and gravel mine that had been depleted. It was just hills, valleys, ponds, just a mess. And they spent a better part of a year preparing this grade and all of the support structure called geopier underneath here before they started doing the foundation. And then it's just grown in that time. And you asked, what have I seen here lately? Some of the cool things that people don't pay attention to is the deliveries of very important machinery and equipment that's being brought inside to manufacture not only the Model Y, the Cybertruck, and maybe some future stuff as well. But it's important to understand all of those deliveries, where they're going in the factory and what they do, to really understand what's going on inside here. And I just want to say, I have a strong appreciation for the people that work here at Giga Texas, the contractors, the Tesla employees, the people that are doing production at the same time they're doing construction. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. And the layout has changed for every event. I guess today is a little different with the seating in the front. And
well,
we have the Giga Berlin colors here.
Not only that, it is, but if you've been watching my channel, this is the 4th major revision of the main entrance on this west side.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
So what do you think that is there any significance to this frame that you can tell?
Well, actually what's interesting is right now it's not completed, and they're going to be putting some cladding over this. I think it's going to be a stainless steel kind of cladding. But from a distance across this road, and particularly from a drone, this actually mimics the Plaid badge. And you can see that with the shapes, the reflection from the windows, how these beams kind of project out from the main glass, and it just gives you a Plaid emblem kind of look to it.
You know your stuff.
Oh, I've been here for a while.
Yeah, you have. Any thoughts about when we'll see the Cybertruck delivery event? I know that's the next one we're all excited for.
Yeah, everybody wants to know. I would just say, before you can build the truck, you have to have the factory. And in the factory, you have to have all the production line. And they're progressing quite quickly on that now. Most of the main machinery that you need to make the Cybertruck is on site or installed or in testing. That's very important. The production lines are being set up. That's very important as well, and the training as well. So you need all of that. I would say that we may start seeing some tests sometime this summer, and then as we get into the fall, we might see a little bit more than that. But it's anybody's guess when Tesla will tell us when they're going to, actually have a production or have a reveal event.
But you'll be on it.
I will definitely be on it.
Awesome. great.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's great to share the screen with Ellie. I love the time at Starbase. It was outstanding, but this is kind of my place here with Giga Texas.
This is your territory, which is why I'm letting you take the mic.
Absolutely.
We had a pretty epic time at Starbase. So.
Yeah, and one other thing, Ellie's going to go weightless pretty soon in a really cool event that she won, and I want to make sure that you know about that and check out her channel. And she's going to be weightless with a couple of astronauts as well, and it's going to be awesome.
I'm very excited for that. And here's a drone going across the crowd as we're all seated waiting for the meeting. Now, one of the moments that got the most response from the crowd was when Meet Kevin asked Elon if he would try some advertising for Tesla.
Hey Elon, Meet Kevin here.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks. So Tesla is the largest position in my ETF, ticker PP, and that's for pricing power.
Right.
And I'm curious, I really think that some of the features that you highlighted here, like the over-the-air airbag deployments of improving the features, the safety features, are great things that we could be advertising. I know you've heard this many times before. I know you have. But
sorry, go ahead, yeah.
$525 off every car this year is half a Netflix's advertising budget. $1,000 is the entire Netflix advertising budget, and I see their ads everywhere. Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this. I just talked to Gordo, the Tesla bear, and he's still talking about 2016 New York Times pieces. These people are in the past, man.
That's like 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's actually, I talked to a lot of people, and they still think that like Teslas are like super expensive, and I'm like, no, actually, the starting price for a Tesla is below the average auto price in the US. It's like, and that's a good thing. I mean, I think it's good that it's that way, you know? Like our goal was always to make cars that are affordable to the general public. So I hear you. I mean, I think, and it's indeed ironic that, you know, Twitter is like highly dependent on advertising. So, you know, here I am, it's like, you know, never used advertising really before, and now have a company that's highly dependent on advertising. So I guess I should say advertising is awesome and everyone should do it. but I think I hear your sort of larger point, which is that there are amazing features and functionality about Teslas that people just don't know about. So, yeah. And although there's obviously a lot of people that follow, like, say, the Tesla account and the, you know, my account, whatever, on Twitter, to some degree, it is preaching to the choir. And the choir is already convinced. So I think what you're saying does have some merit, and you know what? I believe in taking suggestions, so we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm here with Meet Kevin, and you're the one breaking the headlines with your question. So what prompted you to ask that question, and are you happy with the response?
Yeah, when I was really listening to Elon and his passion for, look, we're the only ones doing updates on the safety of cars, that you could have a 5-year-old Tesla basically and still be getting safety features. No car company does that. Just say that to the world is what I was thinking. It's like, hey, if your car's 5 years old, we'll make your car safer after we analyze accident data for free.
Right.
What?
Right.
Like, I feel like the other car companies would charge for that, if they were to even do it, but they're not even going to do it because they just want to sell you another car.
Yeah.
So this is really like a brand value of consistently reinvesting in people who have already bought a Tesla.
Right.
That's totally different.
Right.
So, very happy with his response.
I was going to say, were you surprised?
Oh, yeah. It was because when I first started on it, you could tell he was sort of like, here we go again.
Right.
So here's this question again. So the fact that it went from here we go again to, yeah, all right, that was awesome. Like, that was really rewarding. So, and I feel so happy for the whole Tesla community because I think everybody wins.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like this is something so many of us have wanted for years. And so, you know, I'm glad that you had the courage to ask it.
Well, I'm super happy because really it's the owners, it's the shareholders, it's everyone, because the better the company does, all of those existing car owners, hey, more updates for them. Because here's the thing, Tesla will see, we're advertising about all we're doing for our existing owners. That's going to
Right.
encourage more people to buy.
Right.
It helps in both directions.
And it helps us out.
And then, of course, it helps existing shareholders, everything.
What do you think about the Twitter 2.0, Elon run Twitter?
It's great. Yeah. I mean, I think, like, if there was maybe like one modest criticism, it was I was definitely getting suggested some of the Texas victim images. That was probably the hardest thing. But other than that, I don't care about like the political commentary, all the back. I love that, the free speech, the Twitter files. I'm all for all of that. Like, put it all out there. Get all that stuff out. The other stuff should be maybe like there but blurred or like sorted. Like, hey, click to expand, click to verify. You're like, yeah. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with what he's doing. The fact that he can do it with, 20 to 25% of the workforce, awesome. Testament to Elon.
In that Q&A, we had almost 50 minutes of him taking questions from the audience. What was that like to see changes in real time, especially with your question? I mean,
I definitely honored on mine, but when I first realized it was when somebody had the shareholder proposal on Cobalt, and he's like, you know what, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And we'll do an audit. And what was remarkable was I looked at the director of the board, Robin, and I saw her reaction was kind of like, here goes Elon again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so cool. I'm seeing in real time the sort of dissension between like, there's Elon saying stuff and now we got to clean it up, you know?
Right.
I thought it was awesome.
But he snaps his fingers and he can make it happen.
But hey, you know what? That's a good leader, so I think it's awesome.
Right.
Yeah,
He
really
was
cool.
very nice today. What does your mic say? Show us your mic.
Yeah, this is my old real estate mic. So it's a meetkevin.com. This is my Model X from 2017, and I had wrapped it back then as my real estate mobile. Now it's my dad. My dad drives this, and we took the wrap off because I don't sell actively anymore, but I still have this, and I think it's cool, and it's like a memory. So
Yeah, awesome.
I like it.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you.
This is
I
exciting.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Now, we were lucky to see the Quicksilver in Midnight Cherry colors on display. These are, of course, offered in Europe, but not offered in the USA, at least yet. And this is the first time I was actually allowed to step inside of the Tesla Semi. I've seen it many times in person now, but check out how spacious it is.
My truck, because it has two monitors, not just one. And, okay, so it does all the regular stuff. And guess who else is here?
Hi.
Ellie's here. Yay.
Dr.
I see that
Know-It-All
there's a
is here.
ride-along seat. That's cool. I did not know that. That is
Yes.
actually super cool.
Wow. This is way cooler than I thought it would be.
I know. It's actually so spacious.
seen
I
it
can't
so many
believe-
times on the
Actually,
iPad.
wait a second. Let's do
Yeah.
this, because look at that. You can see like way up
Yeah.
here. Like, put my hand
Can
up
we
there.
flap that down or no?
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
badass. There we
Okay,
go.
so there's no mirror. We can't check our makeup.
No, we can't.
We can at least shade
You'll
the
have to
sun.
install one.
Okay,
It's
okay,
a little
cool.
extra thing, so.
Cool, and here's...
And thank you for correcting me. I can't believe I said
Oh,
Cybertruck.
no worries.
It's my brain is just like, broken at this point.
And you
so
know what?
like,
It's
whatever.
it's an exciting day. We got
There
a
we
lot
go.
of cool stuff
So,
out here.
Exactly.
what do you think about it?
I think it's awesome. I want one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy one just to drive
no
it around
reason.
town. Yeah, for
Okay.
no reason whatsoever, just to have it. So there you go. You get the best job all day because it's also
do.
air conditioned in here. So it's
Yeah.
nice. Cool. Thank you. All right.
I think it's amazing. I was here before to see it in its more infancy stage, and now I'm just amazed at seeing so much production happen like right in front of me, and supply chain like visible on the tour, like really being more organized and in place, and employees looking really happy. And I think that's the key, is having a team that wants to build. That's my thing.
Yep. I think that they took the happy employees and put them on the tour guiding. They're like, if you have a bad attitude, you're back in the back.
Yeah.
No, but they're super happy. I agree with Gail completely that it's just amazing to see this thing actually operating.
Yeah.
I think more than any specific thing, it's just watching the crazy logistics and looking down to the left when you saw the bays where they were putting the cars down, and it just goes on and on and on. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's so long.
compare to seeing it last year? I haven't been
on the
tour yet today.
Oh, you haven't? It was, last year it just felt like it was like empty.
Yeah.
Like it was just waiting for something to happen. Now it feels like, yeah, they're actually cranking them out. I mean, 5,000 cars a week is a huge amount.
I get my food.
There you go.
Also, is it any coincidence that I surpassed 69,000 subscribers on the same day of this event? I don't know, you tell me. I was also excited to meet John. He runs the Tesla Owner Silicon Valley account on Twitter, and he's actually interviewed Elon. It was about a year ago, and he had some great insights into the meeting.
I'm here
with John from Tesla Owners of Silicon Valley.
and this is your third time here?
Yeah, so I've been here. I came to the Cyber Rodeo event last year, and then I came today, and then we were here a year ago to interview Elon on the history of Tesla. So this is technically my third time here. So
Almost exactly a year since that interview.
yeah, so in like 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be a full year since we spent time with him.
How much has changed?
He now owns Twitter officially, but we did talk a little bit about that. And actually, we had to withhold some footage from the interview. We didn't publish it because we didn't want anything to harm the actual Twitter acquisition.
Yeah.
So we released it later, but it was just one of those things like we couldn't release everything.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to today in particular?
Really, just to hear, I think it was a big week last week. They announced the new Twitter CEO, and I think, everyone's looking forward to actually having Elon focus more on Tesla, SpaceX. Hopefully Linda can take some of the weight off of, all the stuff Elon's been focusing on and really just focus on the product and be the chief technology officer.
How does he do all this? I don't even know. It's crazy.
I think the reality is what's special about Elon is he's one of the most ruthless people when it comes to prioritizing things. No one does it better than him. He knows the things that are the problem. He knows the things to focus on, and that's all he's just able to be super laser focused.
And tell me, why did you get into Tesla? I'm sure many, many years ago.
Yeah, so I'm about to lap about 5 years. And really I got into it mainly because of the fact that Tesla, when I drove it, I was driving 70 miles a day in Bay Area traffic, and it was just gut-wrenching. When you turn on autopilot, it completely changes the game. So I just knew that this was the future, and so I went all in on it.
And here's me interviewing Eva, who flew in from Orlando that same day.
Oh, this is going to be an amazing event. This is my first shareholders meeting. I was here last year at the Cyber Rodeo and another time, but this is just really exciting. I'm so excited to meet new people. Met so many new people at Twitter, and it's finally, it's a Tesla family. Got my first Tesla June 2021, and it was the first Plaid. It is the first Plaid in the state of Florida, and one of the first models that came out in 2001 in general. And it's the best, absolutely best, amazing car. I feel very safe driving it. FSD, I got FSD about 3 months after, so I got FSD, it's gonna be close to 2 years now, and it's just absolutely, I feel safe, it's great, and it's super cool to drive a Tesla. I heard about it from my clients a long time ago. I used to have I met a very famous person who actually drove the first Teslas. He was an astronaut, and about 6 years ago, and he started telling me about Tesla, and I had no idea whatsoever what Tesla is. And started my research 5-6 years ago, and I fell in love with the company, started buying shares, and now I just happy to know many Tesla lovers and driving the best car ever in the world. Twitter is becoming the everything. I love Twitter because of free speech. I was born in Europe, and my mother told me to be honest. That's how I grew up, honesty. And I feel when I'm on Twitter, I can express myself, and I don't have to worry what people are gonna think. And I just think that Twitter is gonna be the only platform in few years. Everybody's gonna be using Twitter, and all others are gonna be expiring. Twitter is amazing. And the community, the Tesla community on Twitter is just, and I can't believe how close we are. And even with the little Twitter drama, you know, the Twitter drama when it started 6 months ago, I think it's all cooled off now that Elon found a new CEO. I think everybody's gonna calm down and it's gonna be just fine. And stock's gonna go back to all-time high. So just be patient. We'll get there.
The main attraction, of course, the Cybertruck, and I found the Cybertruck's biggest fan, Greg.
Your name on Twitter?
Gregor Truck.
Cool.
Yeah.
And is this your first time?
This is my first time at Giga Texas. I've been watching drone videos for, 3 years now, and it's so cool to actually finally make it out. I was really lucky to be +1 to the event today by my brother, and it's just incredible to see the true scale. Like, the videos online are amazing to see, and to actually experience the factory in person is just something else. And I know you're familiar with that, but holy smokes, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're most excited about, I don't know, this behind us.
A little bit. I
Tell us
spend
more.
a little bit too much of my time on Cybertruck and regret none of it whatsoever. It's just incredible in person. It does not look like it's gotten smaller at all. There's been a lot of conjecture online claiming such that it's gotten smaller, this is missing or whatnot. That is a very complete, beautiful truck. It very much looks like a full-size truck. It does not look small. It is beautiful. It's not too shiny like a lot of people think. It's incredible.
What would you give for a test ride?
What would I give?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would definitely stay around after close tonight to try and sneak into a test drive with that thing. It's incredible. I saw it in LA a couple weeks ago, but seeing the production model now is just something else. It's really, really cool.
Why did you get into Tesla?
I drive a truck daily, and when I said for years, seriously, probably 2015, 16, if they come out with a truck, that's game over for me. I'm all in. We have a 3, we have a Y, we love them both, and now it's going to be really cool to see them prove themselves again, yet again, with the Cybertruck product. They've really, really put all their hard work in on this thing. It looks amazing.
How many Cybertruck reservations?
One.
One, okay.
I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy.
Fair.
I'm going to be realistic, and I have one reservation. Yeah, and I will take it.
What are you most excited about for it? I mean, it looks cool, but...
Yeah, I love that there's no paint. And I think that a lot of people are really overlooking this, but something that we experience a lot in truck usage and driving off-road or just owning it for an extended period of time. A lot of us own our trucks for several years and they get beat up in the sun. Me being from Phoenix, that's definitely something I'm guilty of with my Tacoma. It's 6, 7 years old and my paint is fading. Yeah. That will not do that. And that alone is really, really cool. I was looking forward to a mid-gate. It's okay that didn't make it. It's something to improve on in the future. But I think that altogether, I can very much overlook that. That is a kick-ass product.
Awesome.
Big old bed, it's beautiful. It looks very roomy and spacious inside. It's gonna seat just nicely. It's a beautiful truck. It's not something that's a truly entirely finished product. There's some beauties in the eye of the beholder ideology going on here that you could wrap it, you could put accessories on the back of it like we saw last week when you were down in Starbase.
You watched my live stream and you saw the custom tool rack that they had made for the event. So that got everyone
That's
excited.
gonna make it. Come on, that's gotta make it.
Yeah.
It looked incredible. It looked so finished too. That looked market ready as well. There was nothing that looked cheap on that as well. Something can hide in the video, but I thought that looked really, really good. That looked so good.
Cyber. Yeah.
Snowplow could be a thing too, for sure. I could see them doing a lot of stuff. There's definitely a really strong underside to this truck that is definitely ready to go to work.
If you're unfamiliar, for the Tesla shareholder meeting, you needed to have an invite from Tesla and you needed to be a shareholder. But if you were selected to attend, you could bring a guest. That is actually how Selena and Keenan connected. They're from different countries and they were able to come and experience Giga Texas for the first time in person together.
First time at the factory.
Yeah. How'd you meet?
Twitter Spaces.
Twitter with
the best ways.
With the Tesla connection, of course. That's what brought probably all of us together.
So Lena actually got the invite and invited me out. I've been following Tesla for a long time, to be honest. I just think it's the way in the future of everything.
Of course, I wanted to round things out by getting some key takeaways from Rob Maurer with Tesla Daily. So here is that interview.
We got a decent amount of information. I don't think there was anything too crazy in terms of surprises or anything like that. For me, probably the biggest takeaway was just, I feel like Elon was in really good spirits. I think he's feeling some relief with where the Twitter position is at right now, with Linda coming in and just the progress in the business and kind of getting to stability, hopefully cash flow positivity as well. So I think he's feeling a little bit of that weight lifted. So it's hard to say how much of that is like Tesla being reflected in how he's presenting himself, but I think it's just good to see him relaxed and confident, things like that. In terms of takeaways, I mean, the advertising thing is very interesting. I think the stock's up today. I don't know what day you're going to post this, but after the meeting, stock's up, and I think probably a lot of that is just due to the reaction from advertising and people's belief that that'll support margins. So I think that's hopefully a positive for the business. And then obviously just kind of the teaser on the next generation vehicle and talking about sort of where they're at in the process for that, you know, making it seem a little bit closer and being willing to talk about the volume targets. Those are kind of the first big takeaways for me, I guess.
Were you happy to hear he doesn't plan to step down as CEO anytime soon?
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to. I'm definitely an Elon supporter in that position. So at the same time, if he would step down, I don't think it really makes too much of a difference. Like, I think Elon at Tesla is fulfilling the role that he should be fulfilling, and he's got people to manage the things that, you know, maybe he doesn't need to spend the time on, or doesn't want to spend the time on, or it's not his necessary, you know, primary skill set, things like that. So the title at the end of the day is just a title. You know, they've said Elon's the techno king of Tesla, and that's really what his title is, I think. It's probably a more accurate reflection than CEO, so it doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but yeah, I am glad that, you know, obviously Elon is, as he said, going to have more time to spend on Tesla and, you know, going forward.
Well, and I think the advertising question was just so huge. Were you surprised that that was even asked, and are you happy that he's going to give it a go?
I'm not surprised. I think it was well stated in terms of people just don't know a lot about Tesla sometimes. Like, in the Tesla community, sure, but there's a lot of people that I've certainly talked to over the years that just don't know. And people that own Teslas are really good about educating people, but I think that can be accelerated a little bit.
Right.
If there's a little bit more promotion, more marketing, and if you have to pay for a little bit of that, where it technically then falls into the advertising bucket, you know, that to me is not a huge deal. So
right.
I'm ready for Tesla to try it out. I don't think it's like some silver bullet that just solves all problems, but I think it, you know, it's probably a wise thing to at least try and see what, you know, the data kind of shows them.
And we're kind of in our own echo chamber, so obviously, you know, there's a lot of people, like you were saying, that don't know about it. I guess, what are any like burning questions that you still have, or things, information that you didn't get answered yesterday that you are still wondering?
I mean, I'm curious about Giga Mexico and just kind of like what the timeline is on that. There wasn't a whole lot of commentary on that, so I'm not surprised that there wasn't, but it would have been, I think, a good question to be asked of, like, you know, when are we hitting production in Giga Mexico, I think would be probably at the forefront of my remaining questions.
Do you have any ideas about the next gen vehicle? I'm sure you do.
People seem to be thinking that the silhouette that they showed is the Model 3, so I don't know. Maybe it's been hiding in plain sight and they're just lowering production costs. Could be a possibility, so I don't know.
And then I've seen you at almost every Tesla event. Why do you love coming to these events in person?
Yeah, no, it's just fun to be around, you know, Tesla shareholders and the Tesla community. I think there's, you know, pretty great community here, so it's always fun. I would recommend, if people have a chance to even just come down and be involved in the stuff that's going on around the events, that's fun too. So yeah, it's always a good time.
You don't get recognized where you live like you do down here.
not like down here. It's a handful of times elsewhere, but yeah, here it's, you know, like micro celebrity in this one specific instance.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I had such a great time at the Cyber Roundup, and I was so glad because at the last major Tesla event for Investor Day, it was about 2 days before I broke my leg. So it was really great to be up and walking around without crutches at this event. And it was so great to meet some new people, see some familiar faces, and just connect with everyone in the Tesla community. So I hope that you enjoyed this wrap up. I know that everyone probably has seen the live stream at this point, so I wanted this video to be a little something different than what you have already seen, as this is a few days later. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Ellie in Space if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.